Alright guys, so now a math connection between tables and graphs. So given the tables below, identify the pattern rule, then apply it to find the next three things. So first, let's go ahead and look at the table here in example D, and let's find the pattern. So looking at from -1 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 5, how does it change? ¿Cómo cambia? So if you look carefully, this is going to have a +2 pattern as you go down the table, because -1 plus 2 is 1, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5. So I'm going to recognize that this has a +2 pattern. So the pattern is +2. So once I know that, I can find the next two terms by just continuing the pattern. So for the fourth term, I'm going to add 2 to 5 and get 5 plus 2 is 7. For the fifth term, 7 plus 2 is 9. Next it says backfill to find the previous term. So in this case, if I want to find this previous term, if I just follow this sequence of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, this would be the negative first term. And then again on a table, if you have a certain pattern going down the table, if you reverse direction, you reverse the operation. So if I'm going +2 going down, I'm going to go in the reverse direction, -2. So -1, -2 more, this will give me a -3 or a -3. And I've now filled in my table. To finish this now, I'm going to ask you to plot these points on this grid. So I'll go one by one. First with the -1, -3. -1, -3 is -1, -3. We'll put a dot there. Then we have the point 0, -1. So 0, -1 is going to be 0, then -1, which is right there. And then going along, I'll do one more slowly. The point 1, 1 is going to be the point 1, 1 is right there. Then going a little faster here, the point 2, 3 will be here. The point 3, 5 is there. The point 4, 7, then 5, 9. And so our last question in this example is, once you plot the points and create a graph, what shape does this have? So if you were to connect these points, what shape do you see? And I'll do it briefly and not perfectly. This has a line shape, okay? Now, this is not an easy example probably, so for this one, I'm going to show you a second one in these notes in this video. So now looking at example E, same three questions. So here's our table. Let's first identify what pattern do you see as you go down this table. So from 1 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 to 8. In this case, if I try to add, from 1 to 2 it would be +1. But then from 2 to 4, that's +2. So this is not a consistent rule. So in this case, I'm not going to have a plus pattern. So I tried it, but it didn't work. What else could I do in this? What about if I multiplied 1 times 2? Isn't 1 times 2 going to be 2? And then what's 2 times 2? That's 4. So this is holding true so far. Well, what about 4 times 2? That's 8. So multiplying by 2 each time seems to give me the next number. So to find the next two terms, the fourth and fifth, let's use that same pattern. So what is 8 times 2? That's 16. Then 16 times 2 will be 32. Now again, to backfill to find the previous number, I'm going to use the opposite operation. I'm going to go in reverse. So if I'm timesing by 2 down the table, I'm going to divide by 2 to go in reverse. So what's 1 divided by 2? And 1 divided by 2, or if I cut 1 in half, I get half. So 1/2. So that's my negative first term. So again, at this point, the pattern was to multiply by 2, so timesing by 2. And then if I plot these points, what shape will I get? So I'll plot the first point. I'll start with 0, 1 actually. 0, 1 will be the point 0, and then 1. So we'll put that point. And then we'll do some more. The point 1, 2 is going to be 1, 2 to get that point. And I'll do one more here. The point 2, 4 would be 2, 4, which is right there. And in fact, let me jump to, do you see here it's 532? So in some examples, 5 is here, but 32 is way off the grid. When it's way off the grid, it's okay to not include it. You'll get the shape from the other points. So if I add the other points briefly here, 3, 8 will be here. 4, 16 is way up here. And then to finish off, the point -1/2 will be -1, then halfway's up, so right around there. So in this case, look at the shape that's being created by these points. This is not a line. If I connect these with a smooth curve, you'll see something like this. So in this case, I get a curve for my shape. So to summarize, something that you're going to see more throughout this course, whenever you have a plus or minus pattern, you should expect to have a line shape. Whenever you have a multiply or divide pattern, you should expect to have a curved shape. And we'll get more formal with these words later, but just start seeing how these things are built, looking at structure and patterns.